Acts chapter 27. Acts chapter 27. Can't wait to get it out and work. As far as the book we will be studying next, which may be the book of Jude. Have to wait and see. Alright, Acts 27 verse 1. And when it was determined that we should sail on into Italy, they delivered Paul and certain other prisoners unto one named Judas, a Centiurion of Augustus's band. 2. And entering into a ship of Adramyttium, we weren't meaning to sail by the coast of Asia, one Arcus and Medusian of Thessalonica being with us. 3. And the next day we touched at Sidon, and Judas Julius entered and treated Paul and gave him liberty to go unto his friends to refresh himself. And when we had learned from thence, we sailed unto Cyprus, because the winds were controversy. 5. And when we had sailed over the sea of Cydra and Pyotama, we came to Meridian, a city of 6. And there the Sidonian found a ship of Alexander sailing into Italy, and he put us then. 7. And when we had sailed showing many days, the scale will come over against us, and the wind not suffering us, we sailed under Crete over against Solomon, and hardly passing it, came unto a place which is called in the four havens, nigh whereunto was the city of Lystra. 9. Now when much time was spent, and when sailing was now dangerous, because the fast was now already past, Paul admonished them. 10. And said unto them, Sirs, I perceive that this village will be with hurt and much damage, not only of the wagon and ship, but also our lives. 11. Nevertheless, the Sidonian believed the master and the owner of the ship more than those things which were spoken by Paul. 12. And because the haven was not condemned us to enter in, the more part of us to depart thence also, if by any means they might attain to Pensus, and there to enter, which is an haven of Crete, and lieth toward the southwest and the northwest. 13. And when the south wind blew softly, supposing that they had obtained their purpose, loosening thence, they sailed close by Crete. 14. But not long after those arose against it a tremendous wind called Ian, 15, and when the ship was caught and could not bear up into the wind, we let her drive. 16, and running under a certain island which is called Claudia, we had much work to come by the boat. 17, which, when they had taken up, they used helps undergirding the ship and fearing lest they should fall into the quicksands, scribe sail, and so were driven. 18. And we being exceedingly tossed with a tempest, the next day they lightened the ship. 19, and the third day we cast out with our hands the tackling of the ship. 20, and when neither sun nor stars and many days appeared, and no small tempest lay on us, all hope that we should be saved was then taken away. 21. But after long substance, Paul stood forth in the midst of them and said, Sirs, ye should have hearkened unto me, and not have loosed from Crete, and to have gained this harm and loss. 22. And now I exhort you to be of good cheer, for there shall be no loss of any man's life among you, but of the ship. 23. For there stood by me this night the angel God, who I am, and whom I serve. 24. Saying, Fear not, Paul, thou must be brought before Caesar, and lo, God hath given thee all them that sail with thee. 24. Wherefore, sirs, be of good cheer, for I believe God that it shall be even as it was told me. 26. Howbeit we must be cast upon a certain island. 27. But when the 14th night was come, as we were driven up and down about midnight, the shipmen deemed that they drew near to the same country. 28. And sounded and found it 20 fathoms. And when they had gone a little further, they sounded again and found it 15 fathoms. 29. And fearing lest we should have fallen upon rocks, they cast 4 anchors out of the stern and wished for the day. 30. And as the shipmen were about to flee out of the ship, when they had let down the boat into the sea, another culvert, as though they would have cast anchors out of the foreship. 31. Paul said unto the Sidonian and to the soldiers, except these abide in the ship, ye cannot be saved. 32. Then the soldiers cut off the ropes of the boat and let her fall off. 33. And while the day was coming on, Paul besought them all to take meat, saying, This day is the 14th day and continued fasting, having taken nothing. 34. Wherefore I pray you to take some meat, for this is your health. For there shall not an hair fall from your head of any of you. 35. And when he had thus spoken, he took bread and gave thanks to God in presence of them all. And when he had broken it, he began to eat. 36. When they all of good cheer, then were they all of good cheer, and they also took some meat. 37. And we were in all the ship 216 souls. 216, that's 216 souls. So 216 souls. 38. And when they had eaten enough, they lightened the ship and cast out the wheat into the sea. 39. And when it was day, they knew not the land, but they discovered a certain creek with a shore, into the which they were minded, if it were possible, to thrust in the ship. 40. And when they had taken up the anchors, they committed themselves to the sea, and loosened the rubber bands, and hoisted up the mainsail to the wind, and made towards shore. 40. And falling into place where two seas met, they ran the ship aground, and the forepart stuck fast, and remained unmovable, but the hinder part was broken with the violence of the waves. 42. And the soldiers' counsel was to kill the prisoners, lest any of them should swim out and escape. 43. But the Chaldean, willing to save Paul, kept them from their purpose, and commanded that they which could swim should cast themselves first into the sea and get to land. 44. And the rest, some on boards, and some on broken pieces of the ship. And so it came to pass that they escaped all south to land. All right. One chapter remaining. That's right. One chapter remaining. I'll do that last chapter tomorrow. And then we will start tomorrow night, Lord willing, on our new book, which will remain a mystery for right now. All right. No, we'll do it now. Chapter 28 in a minute. Chapter 28 of the Book of Acts.